All right, good morning, everyone. We want to thank you so much for attending this press conference. We'll start it off with Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Angela Connolly.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm extremely proud for two things today. One, we have just finished a visit and briefing from our U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Service, Mr. Secretary, and where is he?
Right behind you.
Here. Oh, I'm so excited that he was here, and I can't thank the federal government for all our support. The Biden-Harris administration has been very supportive in all of during this pandemic for COVID-19 and now the Delta variant. So it's just wonderful that he's here today and got to see firsthand on everything our team has done. And I think he's pleased on some of the things that we were able to show him. So we're nearing 70% of the eligible population vaccinated, and we are one of the highest. We're not the highest yet, but as I told Mr. Secretary, my goal is to be #1 in Iowa to get everyone vaccinated in Iowa. So I hope Polk County is going to be right up there. This is a testament to the long hours our healthcare professionals have put into getting us to this milestone. As I said, almost 70% of our eligible population has decided that vaccines are the right course of action to keep Polk County healthy, and our healthcare workers are truly grateful for this. We have been able to reach this point by unprecedented coordination among our healthcare providers and local jurisdictions, as well as building trusted relationships, organizations, and leaders that serve our hard-to-reach populations. However, it doesn't feel like a moment of celebration since we are also seeing some of the highest hospitalization and death rates since the start of this pandemic. As you will learn from our healthcare providers and Secretary Becerra, we are not out of the woods yet. In fact, unfortunately, we are not far from it, or we are far from it. We have made great progress. However, this seemingly small group of unvaccinated individuals are putting our community at tremendous risk. They are risking hospitalization and death, which is almost exclusively affecting the unvaccinated. And they are putting our children who are unable to be vaccinated at risk. This week in Polk County alone, 47,000 kids started school, and many that cannot get a vaccine. Helen and the Secretary will address this in a moment, but to the nearly 70% of you who rolled up your sleeves and got the shot to protect yourself and your family, I just want to say on behalf of our community, thank you. We are not done, but we are making progress. Now I'd like to introduce Helen Eddy, Director of the Polk County Health Department, to brief us on where we are as a community. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Angela. Polk County is back in a situation we hoped never to be in again. COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are surging. In late March of 2020, patients began to die of COVID-19 infections. The number of deaths continued to increase so drastically that by the winter of 2020 and into 2021, over 30 individuals were dying each week from COVID-19 complications here in Polk County. Through vaccine administration and COVID-19 prevention strategies, the number of deaths were driven down such that beginning in March 2021, there were 0 weeks with above 10 COVID-19 related fatalities. The numbers continued to fall as people continued to get vaccinated, and by June through July, less than 5 deaths were seen every week. Many weeks were with only 1 or 2 COVID-19 deaths. Our months of incredibly hard work are quickly being undone. The first full week of August, we saw 7 COVID-19 related deaths, and the numbers are continuing to rise. We are beginning to see the average age of the decedents getting younger. Over the past 3 weeks, we have seen a 175% increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations. Our hospitals today have 120 COVID-19 patients. On Tuesday, that number was 110. We have not seen a trend in COVID-19 hospitalizations like this since the last COVID-19 surge in October of 2020. Of the 120 COVID-19 patients, 4 of those are under the age of 18. While 4 may seem like a small number to most, this is the highest number of under 18 COVID-19 hospitalized patients we have ever seen throughout the pandemic. Polk County hospitals are operating at limited capacity. Currently, Blank Children's Hospital has canceled elective surgeries, and other metro hospitals are monitoring daily cases and canceling some elective surgeries. Finally, our COVID-19 cases from the past weekend have increased 87% since the first weekend in August. During the month of July 2021, Polk County was averaging 31 COVID-19 cases a day. As of August 22nd, 2021, we are averaging 120 COVID-19 cases a day. We expect our COVID-19 cases in Polk County will continue to surge since school has started and individuals are not following COVID-19 prevention strategies, including wearing masks in indoor public settings. Words cannot express our gratitude for the almost 70% of eligible Polk County residents who have gotten vaccinated. Thank you. We are also incredibly thankful for our healthcare partners who have continued to care for all of our community during the pandemic. We thank you all from the bottoms of our hearts. However, it is not enough. Our hospitals are full. Our healthcare workers are tired. Parents and guardians are scared to send their children to school. We implore everyone to step up once again and do the right thing for the people you love and care about, for our community, and for the 82,000 kids in Polk County who cannot be vaccinated. The health department strongly encourages you to follow these tips. If you are not vaccinated, get vaccinated now. There are many places for you to receive your COVID-19 vaccine, such as your healthcare provider, local pharmacies, or the Polk County Health Department. Please follow the CDC recommendations and wear a mask in all indoor locations, including school, work, while running errands, and any other public areas. If you need to be tested for COVID-19, do not go to the emergency department to be tested. Please contact urgent care or your primary care provider. Home test kits are also available at the Polk County Health Department. If you have tested positive for COVID-19, do not go to work, school, or to run errands until you are well. You are potentially exposing anyone you are around, including family and friends. If you are waiting for COVID-19 test results, do not go to work, to school, or to run errands until you have your test results. Please continue to socially distance, wash your hands, frequently cover your cough and/or your sneeze. And if you are experiencing COVID-19 symptoms, do not hesitate to seek medical care at an urgent care clinic or an emergency department. Do not wait too long. Thank you. Secretary Becerra.
Let me begin by saying I'm jealous of all the rain that I just walked into this morning, because being from California, we could use some of that rain. I'm also jealous because I got to see a team of experts, a team of caring health professionals providing to Iowans everything they need to stay safe and to protect their loved ones. And so Supervisor Connolly and to Director Eddy, if I could say to the two of you, thank you for everything your team is doing every day to keep Iowans safe, certainly to keep the people of Polk County safe. Thank you for understanding what we know about this pandemic. Thank you for believing the facts. Thank you for trying to persuade everyone that it's in their interest and in ours that we stay safe, that we use the mask, that we keep a distance, but most importantly, that we take the shot and get vaccinated. And I want to send a special message to the healthcare workers that I saw here today at the drive-in clinic, which I think is phenomenal, that you can just drive right in, get your shot, and go about your business. I've seen this everywhere from Seattle to, I was in Manchester, New Hampshire, I was in North Carolina. Obviously, from here I'm going to go to Louisiana. Same thing. Those who are getting the shot get to get up in the morning and explain why they did it, but more importantly, they get to live a life and give hugs to the people they love. And so, message here, let's do what's right. Let's get vaccinated. Let's protect each other. And especially with school starting, let's protect our children under the age of 12 who don't have a choice right now to get the vaccine. The vaccine works. If you are dying in America today from COVID, 99% chance you're unvaccinated. I don't know if that fact can be amplified more, but if you don't believe what's going on, go to the hospitals, to the ICU rooms, or worse, go to the morgues and see who are the people who are dying from COVID. Vaccines work. Let's get the shot. And to each and every one of you who have gotten your vaccine, thank you. Thank you for believing in your personal responsibility. Thank you for protecting your family and your community. Finally, I think it's important to stress why it's so important that we are here, again, encouraging people to get the vaccination, especially now that we know the Pfizer vaccine has been approved for normal use. It is no longer on an emergency basis authorized for protection against COVID. It is important because Delta, that's all I need to say. I don't even have to explain to you. Everyone knows what we mean when we say the word Delta. The Delta variant, it hits harder, it moves faster, and it moves farther than these original versions of COVID-19. And we want to protect everyone, including those who are vaccinated. So now is the time. And so it is gratifying to see that in Polk County, the leadership here understands its responsibility, its personal responsibility, to protect not just themselves, but everyone in the county of Polk. And I want to say a big thank you to the President and the Vice President, because one of the first things that President Biden said was, we're going to put forward a rescue plan as he took office to get America back at it. And that rescue plan provided more than $7 billion to aid this effort around the country by all of you to make sure we protected each other. And certainly here in Iowa, you benefited from that, and it is now showing results. So we hope you continue to improve on the number of people who are vaccinated. I understand here in Polk County, you're close to being number one in vaccinations, and the Chair Connolly has made it very clear she intends to make sure by the time this is done, Polk County has done better than any other county in the state in getting its people vaccinated. That's what we need. We need people who are inspired to do it right, make a difference for everyone. So I just simply want to say, visiting here in Iowa, it is gratifying to see how here in Polk County, you get it, you want to do it right, and you want to protect your people. Thanks very much for letting me visit.
Thank you so much. Now we'll take some time for questions.
Mr. Secretary, do you think it's time for all employers to consider mandating vaccines? And do you see a time when schools should be adding it to their list of required vaccines?
I certainly think it's time for everyone to get vaccinated. Again, as I said, hard to engage in an argument with anyone on this issue, except if you've got the facts and the science on your side. Those are great allies to have in any type of debate about safety and protection. What we should do, I think, is pretty clear. The President's made it very clear, but more importantly, the professionals, the experts, the scientists have made it pretty clear. Get vaccinated. What actions are taken? We've got laws in this country, whether it's the U.S. Constitution, state governing statutes and constitutions, and employers have rights within their workforce to protect their operations and their patrons. And so we would encourage anyone who recognizes that if we want to get back to a healthy America. And to get it back to a healthy economy, we have to have a healthy America. Everyone should do what they believe is necessary to make sure we do.
Do you want to see more employers do that?
I would want to see everyone get vaccinated. I would want to see every employer have a safe workplace for their employees and for their patrons. And I believe they should do everything the law permits them to do to make sure we're all safe. Because if you're not safe, I'm not safe.
Mr. Secretary, Iowa schools right now are not allowed to mandate masks for students or staff. What's your response to that law, and what should schools be doing now to try to keep students and staff safe?
Well, I think we've been very clear at the federal level what we believe should occur for our children, especially those returning to school. The safest course of action, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, if you're a superintendent of schools, a principal, is to make sure every child is safe. And every child is safe so when he or she goes home, their parents and family will be safe. Why you would not get vaccinated with all the facts in front of you is something that only someone who's a parent can respond to. But I certainly will tell you that I hope that every school district recognizes its responsibility to protect its students. And I applaud those school districts and those superintendents and principals who've taken it upon themselves to make sure that at their schools, our children and all those who work with those children are safe.
Mr. Secretary, I know you mentioned earlier that you're going to continue providing resources for the vaccination effort. What will that look like here in Iowa? You know, we heard we're continuing to see a massive surge here. What do those resources tangibly look like?
President Biden, the day he took office, said, we're going to be by your side. Whatever part of the country, we're going to be by your side. We are a partner in this effort to fight COVID, and we're not going to leave until you've finished the task. And so I've said this to Supervisor O'Connell. I mentioned it as well to Director Eddy. We're here today, and we will be here tomorrow to help in whatever way we can for you to protect your people. And so there should be no doubt about that. We will be a partner. We're not going to just knock on the door, deliver the vaccines, and head out. We're not a delivery service. We're partners in this effort to make sure we get past COVID-19.
Okay, we got one more question. Mr. Secretary, you alluded to the number of unvaccinated people in hospitals right now in Iowa. 79% are unvaccinated. Is that number lower because of the Delta variant?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
79% of Iowans in the hospital right now with a primary COVID-19 diagnosis are unvaccinated. That number has slipped in recent weeks. Is that because of the Delta variant and why?
So we know that as more and more people get vaccinated, fewer and fewer people will have to go to the hospital. There are some individuals who have breakthrough cases who are vaccinated and still contract the disease. But what we are seeing in those numbers is that those who are vaccinated almost completely survive the hospitalization and certainly don't die. As I mentioned, 99% of those who are dying of COVID are unvaccinated. And it would not surprise me if we're seeing the numbers rapidly rise in the number of hospitalizations and the increasing number of deaths again because of those who are unvaccinated. Your question threw me a bit because it almost sounded as if you were saying that because of the Delta variant, we're seeing fewer people die.
No, I was saying because of the Delta variant, we're seeing a higher percentage of vaccinated people in the hospital.
That seems to be the evidence that because, as I said, this variant, the Delta variant, hits harder, moves faster, and moves farther, that it is impacting even those who are vaccinated. That's why I think the message that Polk County leaders are trying to send is just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you shouldn't wear a mask. We need to protect ourselves from COVID, but certainly this variant, the Delta variant, and we also have to make sure we're not unknowingly passing on the virus to others. And that's where the mask becomes so important. You wish we could say that as soon as we're vaccinated, we can go back to doing everything the way we wish, even if everyone else hasn't vaccinated. That's not the case. We all have to care for each other. And that's why I not only respect, but I applaud all those leaders, especially those in our schools, who have said, we're going to make sure everyone is wearing a mask and gets vaccinated. Thanks all very much.
Thank you very much.